All right, good morning. You should have already received a message from me that I've moved our 9:30 Zoom to 11 o'clock, and that I'm making a video for you so that you know what you need to do for the day and you can get started. So today is Thursday, and today in reading, you are going to read your 555 book, and then at the 11 o'clock Zoom, we're going to listen to Mars Patel and discuss the last episode of season one. So we'll do that in Zoom. If you're not able to come to the 11 o'clock Zoom, then you'll need to do that on your own. Restart. You're going to read chapters 3 through 6, which are pages 20 through 53 by Monday. So you have all day today, tomorrow, and then your weekend to get those chapters read by Monday. And then if you're in Mrs. R. Time's class, check out her assignments. For writing, you're going to go to your Storyworks and you're going to go to page 28. And on page 28, you will find a page called GrammarBot. And today they're talking about capitalization of common and proper nouns, which we've worked with before. So common nouns should not be capitalized, and common nouns are things like basketball player, country, and shoe. And proper nouns are names of places and things, specific things. So United States, Nike, LeBron James. And what you're going to do is you're going to read the sentences and you're going to look for errors, capitalization errors. Sometimes things will be capitalized that they're not supposed to be, and sometimes things will need to be capitalized. And while you're reading, you're going to learn about some different sports from around the world, and some of them look pretty crazy. So check that out and finish that page today. The next thing you're going to need to do, we've been talking about this with our story. Next week, you're going to pick one section of the story, depending on how long your story is. If your story is short, then you're going to do the whole thing. If you've got chapters, you're going to pick probably a chapter. And we're going to get ready to publish that so that I can grade it. When you are choosing which section or working on the whole thing, the things that I'm going to look at to grade are the things that we've been talking about. So I'm going to look at your nouns and your noun choices. Are you using specific nouns? Are they vague? Verbs, are you using visualizing verbs, vivid verbs that'll make us be able to see what you are seeing in your mind? And then I'm also going to be looking at your showing versus telling. Showing versus telling is very difficult to do. Authors who've been writing forever still struggle with showing versus telling. And we're just starting that, so I won't expect you to be an expert, but I will expect you to attempt to try to show and to try to get your reader in your head with what you're seeing. And then if you're in Mrs. R. Time's class, go ahead and check out her assignments. When you get to math, and I would suggest you probably start with math because it's probably the longest thing to do, you're going to go to this folder in Schoology, and this is requiring you, and I've not done this yet, this is requiring you to go through these in order, and it won't let you click on something until you get to that. So you're going to need to click through and do the items in order. So the very first two items are images that will help you with the assignment. So we have standard form with decimals, which is just your numbers and your decimals. We have the expanded form where you write out the number. Here you'll notice that they're using decimals. You can also use fractions. So here where it says 3 times 1/10 as written as a decimal, you could also write 3 times 1/10 as a fraction. Either of those works. And then there's word form and then model form, meaning if I was going to use base 10 blocks, this is what 2.345 would look like with base 10 blocks. All right, 2 wholes, 3/10, 4/100, and then 5/1000 there. All right, and let's go back previous. Whoops, it's into the thousands. Whoops. Sorry about that. It went back to the new folder instead. The next one is a place value JPEG again, another picture. This goes through the place values and shows you again, just in a different form. And it also gives you the place value of each area with that. Then page 157 will be in your Go Math workbook. It's the same thing. I'll ask you to do a problem. You'll pause, you'll do it, then you'll check your work. Same thing with 158, 159. Then after that, you're going to go to Think Central and you're going to do lesson 3.2. All right. When you do these problems on Think Central, you can continue to work on them until you get 100. There's really no reason for you not to be in the 90s with that. Because it lets you keep redoing it. So don't just tap through it. Actually do the work so that you get a good grade on it. And then the last 2 assignments are very simple multiple choice. And you're going to click on it and it will take you to a Google form that you're going to write your name into. And then there'll be a slide where you will see a slide and then you will answer questions underneath it. So if you look at this slide, it says study the multi-digit number below. So 97,135. What digit has a place value that is 10 times the place value of digit 1? All right. Now, that's what we've been working on with powers of 10. So when we work with powers of 10, when we move towards the left, all right, so from 1 to the left, we're getting 10 times greater. The 7 is 10 times greater than the 1. The 9 is 10 times greater than the 7. If we work the opposite direction, the 1, from the 1, the 3 is 1/10 the size of the 1. So we're dividing by 10 when we get to this place value. From 3 to 5, we're dividing by 10. The 3 is 10 times bigger than the 5, but the 5 is 1/10 of the 3. The 3 is 1/10 of the 1. The 1 is 1/10 of the 7. And the 7 is 1/10 of the 9. So going back and forth, we're either multiplying by 10 or we're dividing by 10. All right, so what digit has a place value that's 10 times the place value of the digit 1? So we would go to this place value here, 1, and we want 10 times larger. Well, 10 times larger goes to the left. So we would go over here and look at the 7, and we would answer D. So our answer for this would be D. We would click D, and then we would move on to the next one. All right, study the multi-digit number below. What digit has a place value that's 1/10? The time of the 1/10 times the place value of the 0. All right, so we want something that's smaller than the 0. That place value is 1/10 the size. And when we are dividing, which is what 1/10 is, we go to the right. So 1/10 of the 0 place would be the 0, which is in the tens place, would be to the ones place, which would be this 3. All right, so we would then come down and answer. We would find a 3, and then we would click B. All right, so that is how you will be doing your math. All right, and then if you have Mrs. Art Time, check her stuff out for math. Then go ahead and look at your green folder. And this is where you will be doing the Spaceship Earth Mystery 1. You click on this first thing, it'll take you through. If you didn't pick up papers, you can print papers from here and you can go through that. When you're done with that, then go ahead and finish these questions in this Google Doc. All right, so the experiment, there's a video. When you click on this, it'll take you to a video. There's print prep. It'll explain to you how you're going, what you need to print out. There's an earth map and a sun model, and they will walk you through it in this video. All right. And then once you're done with that, you will, once you're done with that, then you will click on this Google Doc and it'll just ask you some questions about what you learned. All right. That is your day. And I hope you have a good day and are able to come to our 1 o'clock meeting. We'll see you.